Before he ever touched a watch, before Geneva, before legacy, Antony Norbert Patek was a soldier. Born in 1812 in Piaski, Poland, Patek's early life was shaped not by luxury or craftsmanship, but by conflict. At the age of just 17, he enlisted in the Polish army to fight in the November Uprising of 1830, a doomed revolution against Russian imperial rule. He fought with fire in his heart, but Poland lost. And so did Patek. He was wounded in battle and forced to flee his homeland. A decorated war veteran turned political exile, Antony Patek found himself stateless, drifting through Europe with no nation, no rank, and no direction. He landed in Switzerland, a country of neutrality and precision. There, in the quiet town of Versoix, near Geneva, he began working odd jobs. But something stirred in him, an appreciation for art, detail, and patience. He studied painting and engraving, channeling discipline learned in war into craft. He wasn't born a watchmaker. He became one. In 1839, together with Franciszek Zapek, a fellow Polish immigrant and watchmaker, he co-founded a small company focused on creating high-end pocket watches for an elite clientele. But the partnership lacked long-term chemistry. And more importantly, it lacked vision. Patek wanted more than precision. He wanted permanence, not just to measure time, but to leave something that would defy it. And that vision became real when he met Adrien Philippe in Paris, a French inventor who had revolutionized the winding system of watches. Together, they didn't just build a brand. They built a philosophy. In 1851, Patek Philippe and Company was born. This isn't just a watch. This isn't just a bid. It's a statement, a message carved in metal and time itself. In a world where luxury screams louder every year, one brand whispers and still owns the room. This is the story of Patek Philippe, the watchmaker that doesn't chase relevance because it builds eternity. Antony Patek was a soldier, not a businessman. He fought in the November Uprising of 1830, a failed Polish revolution. Exiled to Switzerland, he carried nothing but hope and a sharp eye for craftsmanship. In Geneva, he met another Polish émigré, Franciszek Zapek. Together, they built watches by hand in silence, one at a time. Their business catered to nobility, but it lacked one thing: invention. Then came a Frenchman, quiet, brilliant, Adrien Philippe, the man who invented the keyless winding system, a revolution in watchmaking. In 1851, they launched a new chapter, Patek Philippe and Company. A new name, a new purpose, to master time, not just measure it. You don't become a legend without a moment of validation. For Patek Philippe, that moment came when Queen Victoria chose one of their timepieces at London's Great Exhibition. A royal endorsement, without a marketing campaign. That's how trust used to be earned. From the courts of Austria to the Ottoman Empire, word spread. There was a watchmaker in Geneva crafting time itself. Hand-finished, complicated, reserved for those who understood. To most companies, complexity is a challenge. To Patek Philippe, it's a brand strategy. In the late 1800s, they created the first Swiss wristwatch, a perpetual calendar, and eventually, the first minute repeater. These were not made to impress crowds. They were made to impress the few who could understand what they were looking at. In America, the ultra-wealthy were listening. Henry Graves Jr., a New York banker, commissioned what would become the most complicated mechanical watch ever made in its time. The super complication. No press release. No ads. Just one man's desire to own the pinnacle of horological art. 1932. The Great Depression ripples through Europe. Patek Philippe is in trouble. Enter the Stern family, owners of a dial-making firm in Geneva. They didn't just buy a company. They bought a philosophy. Under the Sterns, Patek Philippe became even more conservative. While other brands began chasing bigger markets, faster production, and celebrity endorsements, Patek chose focus. Smaller output, higher standards, fewer watches, more meaning. To this day, the Stern family still owns the brand. It remains one of the last family-owned luxury watchmakers in Switzerland. The 1950s were America's golden years. Business boomed, cities soared, and with success came the need for symbols. But the new elite didn't want loud. They wanted legacy, a quiet nod to their journey, a reward for their discipline. Enter the Patek Philippe Calatrava, a simple, round dress watch. No diamonds, no flash, just elegance and silence. In business circles from Boston to Beverly Hills, the Calatrava wasn't a watch. It was a rite of passage. The 1970s were chaos for the Swiss watch world. Quartz watches, cheaper, more accurate, mass-produced, tore through the market. Swiss giants folded. Even Rolex pivoted quickly. But Patek? They held the line. Instead of going mass market, they launched something radical. The Nautilus. Designed by Gerald Ginta, it was stainless steel. Bold, sporty, untraditional, but inside, still pure Patek. At $3,000, it was one of the most expensive steel watches in the world. And it worked. The Nautilus didn't save the brand. It redefined it. In the 2000s, Patek Philippe became something new, a financial asset. Their vintage models began to command insane premiums. The Henry Graves Super Complication sold for $24 million in 2014. Then the Grandmaster Chime shattered records at $31 million in 2019. What had once been a passion for a few became a market. From hedge fund managers to Hollywood royalty, collecting Patek Philippe watches wasn't just about time. It was about timing the market and winning. You never actually own a Patek Philippe. You merely look after it for the next generation. No other brand sells legacy like this. It's not just emotional advertising. It's perfect business strategy. They aren't just selling watches. They're selling heirlooms. Something that outlives the buyer. A transfer of values, not just wealth. When you hold a Patek Philippe in your hand, you're not just owning a watch. You're owning eternity. In 1851, Patek Philippe and Company was born. A company founded by an ex-soldier, an immigrant, a man who had lost everything and yet chose to build something that could never be taken away. And now, in 2025, all the rich ones in the world chase Patek Philippe's timepieces just to show their own legacy and class by wearing it.